Hey there, and welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to SnowRunner. Oh boy, yeah, we have missed out a little bit here though. I lost a bunch of episodes, mostly involving the first section of Timium, right? You know, so that's a big issue for me personally though. But, you know, like, there's nothing we can do about it. Then we did explore and collect a couple of things. We still have to do a lot of missions here and there. We still have to check the rift out, by the way, by collecting everything that we can. And we have to explore there too. I apologize, though. But, you know, nothing I can do about it, sadly, though, right? Nothing that I can do about it. Let's see. That's the quarry. Then Drowned Lands is probably the first. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this one we did actually finish up, right? You know, we did wrap up most of it, if not all. And the other ones we did start to explore, and then I lost like 6 or 5 episodes. But yeah, let's go on. We did find this beauty of a beast though, right? It is our new scout vehicle and it looks really dope though, I have to say, right? Look at this. Man, I would love to have this though, right? You know, just to explore and everything. It is a beautiful machine though. But yeah, let's get going. I'm really hyped for it. Continuing our beautiful story here in the game and, you know, make the best of what is left though. These things do happen sadly, right? You know, hardware is finicky and so is software and all. Hoppa. And, you know, you gotta be careful about these things. And I was not, sadly. But this is going to be great though. Like, I really want to see like how tough this is, especially with that angled slope over there. There's nothing sticking down below, so it should just flatten the mud, you know, slide a little bit over it. But in general, you know, it seems to be a very, very rock solid option though. Maybe an extension would have made this, you know, so extremely powerful. So it's probably best that we don't have that. And I'm not really sure like what we can haul with this one, right? You know, like if there's even an attachment slot on the back. Or what the other options are. I think this is just pure scouting. And that's just what we need, right? You know, we do need something solid that can actually go from A to B in whatever terrain we are facing. So far, so beautiful, man. The vibes are good. And it's so easy to steer too. Like, you know, there are some of these trucks that just do slide away a little bit or dig themselves deep inside of the mud. You know how it goes, right? You know? And yeah, we try to avoid that if we are scouting. But this was a proper challenge though. I don't even think a couple of my heavy trucks can actually manage this. With a hard load on the back though, right? You know? So yeah, you know, and those trucks, they are specialized. They are very high from the ground, you know, and they have a lot of power to actually go through the mud. Extra big tires, like balloon tires and all. So yeah, I am absolutely surprised here. It would actually be best if we would start in the morning so we can actually enjoy the capabilities of this beast though. For real, right? You know, like we want to see what it can do, right? You know, we absolutely want to. The steering is slow though, so it really drives like an armored vehicle, like you might expect. Oh yeah, just turning some extra paths here, and that's what I mean though. The steering is very, very bulky. Just nicely through here. But that is to expect, right? You know, that is what we can just expect from something that looks like it is meant to stop a rocket though, right? You know? Or at least armor penetrating rounds. Put a little bit of lights on. By the way, this place, time here, I love it. It's such an interesting location, by the way. You know, like, there are some radioactive places I've noticed, and the mud is absolutely abysmal here. We all have heard the legendary, you know, like rain season from Russia, where the flatlands and, you know, just turns into the mudlands. It is something else, though. It's something else, but we are experiencing it here. Yeah, there are lots of gulags here, right? You know, like prison camps, forced labor quarries, and some other places too, where you had to haul some radiation away. And you do actually see spirits there. I mean, how crazy is that, though? That's something I did not expect in the SnowRunner game, to be honest. So I'm very, very curious what else we might expect in the future. Okay, nicely turning left here. Yeah, you really have to pre-stir, though. I would say like 2 meters. You have to start already slowly to turn with your vehicle. But it is getting more and more difficult for me to choose actually like a main scout or a main truck, because, you know, there's so much to like with most of them. There's just so much, though, like charisma and character, one might say, with all of these beauties. They all drive different. So this is already one little weak point. As you can see, it is not that high from the ground, though. And if we spin around on these boulders, you see, makes life a little bit more difficult, though, to turn and everything. Yeah, right caught in the middle here. Let's just go down here. All right, let's try to make a decent turn then. All right, we already found lots of weaknesses, though. That's not a bad thing, because we probably can still tune it. But rocks is a major issue, it seems. If we go with our Jeep or even our Ford that we got in the middle of, actually at the start of the game, the Ford, right? You know, and the Jeep in the middle, we will totally have crushed these rocks, right? This is something that we have to keep in mind. Look at the massive boulder it actually is. It's something else. Huh. I am so curious, like, what upgrades do we have with this guy? Because if this is the only weakness so far compared to deep mud, then I don't mind it, you know what I mean? Well, one might argue, though, the speed, right? You know, so the maps probably are getting bigger and bigger. And I can imagine, like, somebody just wants to complete things or whatsoever, right? You know, like, kind of want to go out and get going. It's not really the type of game for it, to be honest, but I do get the drift, right? You know, I do get it. There we are. But yeah, that might be an argument about it too. So, that's up to you. That's a personal thing, right? Oh boy, here we are though. Let's listen to the beautiful song here. There's some random dude right next to us in the woods, just playing his guitar though. Let's see, where do we go? Yeah, this is good though. We have been nowhere so far. And I think, well, the left side is closest. So let's go right over here. I do see a little path. That makes me a little bit curious though, if I have to be honest. Let's see what we might find. Not so bad though. Yeah, I did expect a lot more mud though, but let's knock on wood because any moment. Any moment, that's what I mean. Yeah, this is so deceptive though. Does this look like a lot of mud though? Not really though. Maybe for an experienced driver. But we do sink so deep in here. But how cool is this? This vehicle is so cool. It's a gulper, by the way. 14 liters in the mud. Let's stay here on the sides as long as we can, right? You know, we want to be smart about this. I do see an opening there. I kind of want to scout out. Oh yeah. Oh! There is something there. Either this is very deep or this truck is really surprising me right now. What do you guys think, huh? Let me know your opinion about this truck, by the way. I have zero experience with it. Because it does look like it just kicks ass, you know what I mean? But probably because of the military stigma. Could be a civilian though, right? You know that it built this right in his little shed. Can you imagine though? What a legend, by the way. You know, what a legend. Okie right over there. Just want to get the nose out of there. Yeah, beautiful. There we go. And I believe the nose is now nice and free. And so it's not, of course, because now we have to pull it right over here. Come on, big boy. There you go. Not so bad in the end, though. The music in time here. Is it new? I've not heard this song before. Maybe it's because of this region, the Rift or whatever it's called. To be honest, I think, though, for Russian scouts, at least I think it's Russian, right? Because we found it here. It is struggling in Russian territory. Kind of feels wrong, but you know, let's just refuel right over here. The TUS 420 Tatarin. Dragging a little boost behind us. Yeah, I don't think we can do it actually. Turn on beacons, refuel, change truck, attach winch. Nah, we cannot have anything. That is a shame though. So it's not a workhorse, it's a pure scouting vehicle. Although there is something there at the back, as you can see, right? You know, where you can hook a trailer on or some type of attachment. It's not this though. Maybe it's the wrong type of trailer, but who knows? I think driving this around right now after having a little bit of experience, though. Feels more like a boy's dream than an actual dream, you know what I mean? Like a boy's dream in a way. Oh my god, this will be so cool to drive this around, you know, with either friends like we do right now, you know, like sharing the adventure and all. But at the same time, it kind of feels like this is a burden, though. I should not have paid this with real money, you know what I mean? We didn't, but just imagine we did. Imagine I had my handbrake on the whole time, though. Now it just drives like a beast. But yeah, you know, like, it is an interesting little thing. Since we are in the business of transportation, we gotta be on time for all that stuff too. And have to see which is working best for us. Alright, so we got a new toy right over here, right, you know? And let's see how this one actually compares to the other one. I am so curious. As you can see, it's hauling. And it's hauling hard. I like that though, right? You know, a Scout should not be too slow though. Especially if it doesn't look like a dream vehicle. You know what I mean though, right? Compared to this little thing. Although very cute. The other one looks like a dream to own, right? As you can see, let's go through here too. Just like what we did before. It's slowing down too. Truly is. But the mud is not really flying up in the air or anything like that. Just a little bit though, but not as extreme like what we can do with... height doesn't change that, but what we could have done with the other one. Alright, just like the water right over there, that's what I mean. Let's be fair, we did not go through here either with the Tatarin. Yeah, the Tatarin, by the way, doesn't have a snorkel though, so you gotta be very careful with that too, with water. And so far, this one is way quicker. It doesn't gulp as much gasoline, although the tank is also way smaller though, but it balances out because of the gasoline, so we cannot really compare. So now we want to go through here, this side. Yeah, this side. I was trying to look for some tracks, but they are gone. Nice and slow. And yet so quick though in comparison. Oh, don't get too stuck there, please. Oh, look at that. Okay, so that one I did not see. That little tree stump right to my left there. So respect to the Tatarin to actually ignore that completely, right? That deserves respect. We did pull ourselves with a cable there, but yeah, we cannot really compare that little thing because, man, that stump is worth a lot of hassle though. Okay, there was a tree in the way. I think technically though, this one is quicker. But it kind of balances us out though with certain things though, especially toughness. As you can see, the suspension is 1/3 gone. Refuel this big boy. I'm sure they don't mind though. Yeah, I'm sure they don't mind at all. Pedal to the metal. Cannot really advance here. Not sure why. Not sure why we could not do anything here though. Seems to be normal mud and everything. Yeah, as you can see, nothing really did push us down in. Oh, I love comparing these things, right? You know, it really feels good to get a decent answer from it in the end. Because then you know that you really can invest in a vehicle, or it's just a bust, you know. But it's never like, oh yes, bust or this, or, you know, epic win or whatever in between. It's never like that. Maybe on paper it looks like it though, but the feel of these vehicles, that's what matters the most too, right? You know, like one vehicle might get stuck behind any little tree log or, you know, like rocks. Maybe just mud a little bit more, although on paper it looks like a giant though, right? Alright, our old tires are here. Tire tracks. Whoa, oh. Yeah, that is one of the things though that you have to check. That's not on paper. So, you know, it's good that we are doing this little field test. Alright, let's get ourselves out over here. And although this vehicle is so much weaker, it is so much quicker. The other one is just being bogged down by its own weight, one might say. Yeah, look at this. Look at this though. You cannot really compare now, can you? Because if this thing goes, it goes. If it bogs down, it bogs down too. So it's a vehicle of two extremes, one might say. Let's park this one right over here and let's see how the other one actually moves on. Just like that. Right over here. Stop the engine. Change the truck. Come on, Tatarin. I really want this one to work though, right? You know? Respectful. From being bogged down. No movement, nothing. To slight movement and being bogged down again. All the way to the left. Come on, big boy. I mean, this cannot just be me, right? That really want to have this thing right now working on a decent way. And I truly hope there are still a lot of upgrades. Yeah, it truly seems like this big beast though, biggest weakness is mud. So far with the setup that I have. Look at those little mushrooms there, how cute. But yeah, you know, like, yeah. I mean, guess what? It's a MudRunner game, right? So that's the issue right now too. Let's see. It's too wide for the forest. Go just a little bit further. Well, hopefully there's a clearing though, but you gotta be careful in this map. Clearings are very rare. It's a lot of tree and forestry around here. Anything but mud, right? You know, but that's the case of most trucks. So I'm not even surprised. Wait a minute. I think I do see a bit of yellow there. We will get that later on. Let's first go to our little watchtower here. But yeah, you know, like, I have my details in. I've made my opinion already. Now, I love this little thing, this little engine that hopefully can one day, you know, do more than what it does now. But even if not, I don't mind. I don't really mind though. This thing is just awesome to drive. It's bulky. It's just slow in the corners and everything, but it just feels secure. You just go, you know what I mean? You might go slow, but you go. You just keep going. And isn't that the ultimate thing though that we try for in this game? Look at that. Just decent mud though. And I know this map now, if I compare it to Alaska especially, right? But Michigan and well, Alaska though, the previous maps, I don't have experience in the other ones. I know this map though in comparison is some extreme mud though, so let's give it a little bit of slack, right? You know, let's give it a little bit of yeah, you can do it, boy. Freaking awesome though. Man, I need to go back to the study benches now, right? You know, and become a warden of some sort. That would be a nice challenge, by the way, if I could afford it. That would be a very nice challenge, right, for our channel. Now, let's see. What do we have here? Places like these seem to attract a good bit of attention from thrill seekers and scavengers alike. It seems like someone set up camp in the forest nearby. Head down there and see if they are still there. Sounds like a job for us. Sounds like a pretty decent job for us though. So yeah, what we are doing though is we should actually do these jobs directly once we can, to be honest. There we go, show task, start tracking. Oh, wait a minute. Do you see that? Stop the engine. Let's go in Ortus and let's go directly towards there. I mean, this one is the closest by, so let's just go. Alright, now let's go right over here. Beautiful, seems like false alarm. The place looks abandoned and mostly empty. Why would the owners just leave their tent here is another question. But just knowing they aren't here anymore is good enough for me. Well, not just their tent though. The picnic table, crates. I think I do hear a radio. A container and a trailer. Is there a radio in here? There definitely is a radio in here. Very strange though, very strange, isn't it? That is just some very strange stuff. So we have the pacifist here, lost and found. We got a trailer over there. Then we have... Ooh, I did not expect that, my boys. A fuel station, the Great Nomad. And I think we might be going to this one right now, though. Shall we? Shall we? No. It makes a little bit more sense to actually go north. Alrighty. By the way, that's an interesting trailer. Look at that. Thought we had to haul that around though, but no, apparently not. There's someone actually inside of there, living in there. Oh, wait a minute. So that might be the one that is, you know, like living there. And that's his outpost. Interesting. It's not like America though, right? Where they live inside of the tower. Well, that's pretty interesting though, isn't it? Hopefully it's comfortable in there. If you ever worked, you know, like in construction as a kid or as an adult, you have those little cabins too. They are rather small, man. Smells like old coffee, you know, and breadcrumbs. Sweaty dudes. That's life, you know, that's life. It isn't glamorous though, but it kind of feels like home, you know what I mean? No, like just dudes being dudes, you know, men being dudes, you know what I mean? But it's just like Yeah, just work. Just make a penny, you know what I mean? Making a penny on the... Oh yeah. Oh, I should have known this one. Yeah, we cannot fit in there. But just like making a penny of $1 and pay the bills. Alright, so we cannot go through there either. So we kind of have to go through the left. Or... Is that a natural bridge formation? I think it is, that we can cross. We've got the old Soviet star. Oh, by the way, we did find the 2 Lenin statues, though. I got a trophy for that. Kind of pulled it off the ground, to be honest. Oh, wait a minute. What's that, though? Huh? Oh. Dude, I'm daydreaming. My wheel is destroyed. Yeah. Nothing goes well. Repair. There we go. That's about it, though. But that's another Tatarin. Look at that. Now, this is very dangerous, though. Look at that. It's going a little bit further around there. And it's streaming, so... people better be careful around here. I mean, that ought to be so scary, though, right? You know, like a river that goes underground. Because imagine you slip in and you get stuck. Right? Water is rising for real then. And if not, you just keep going until maybe you find Smeagol down there with the one ring, you know, from Sauron. Deep below Moria. What are we doing here? That is not something you see often. A repurposed armored carrier just lying out here, waiting to be recovered. Seems like it might be stuck down there. Pull it out and fix it, and you get to keep it. Seriously though, I get to keep another one. I mean, that's beautiful, dude. Alright, so we have to pull it out and fix it. But let's just hope. That's a symbol I've never seen before in the game. Was there... well, there probably has been an update, though, since last time we played, right, boys? But... I'm not sure... like... is this part of this mission? Oh! Part of this mission or something? And maybe we have to pull it out with something else, right? You know, something more powerful. Like a main truck or something. Kinda seems like it, to be fair. Let's first check out, because the cable is not tall enough anyhow. Yeah, no idea. Let's see how it goes. Totally forgot that we cannot get ourselves up here. Yeah, we are a flat-nosed boy here. And this is no good, though. This is absolutely no good. Papa, now come on, do your best. Do your best, big boy. Oh, water damages the truck, which is alright though, because now we can go forward at least. Oh, yeah. Water damages the truck, of course. That means that only we have to repair it a little bit more though, right? You know, but that's fine. We don't have anything to repair it anyways with right now, so gotta be extra careful with our own truck too. Turn on engine. And here I thought for a second though, right? You know, it was still on. Should have known with the lights being off. Alright, let's go a little bit back. To a safer area. Okay, so we have to pull it over here. Kinda explains it though, right? With the other symbol, it felt more like we had to pick something up over here. It's complete, which is awesome sauce. I don't think we can fix this big boy. Yeah, roof rack. Well, let's just find if something else is around here. Then we might be very lucky though. We might become very lucky, but at least we have another one which we can sell. So we have a little bit of profit though. That's very nice. We might also keep it, of course. That's an interesting bright light over there. We are setting up a supply depot just by the lake. And one of our workers caught a glimpse of an abandoned trailer up in the hills. Find it and take it to the depot. Nothing we can do about that though. I kinda like it that we are so challenged. Right, you know? Kind of like it because right now we kind of have to specialize. Like how often did we just do directly what we could find? I think we might just be going this way. Let's see. Yeah, let's go left. Let's go left. It makes a little bit more sense though. But it seems like the tower is there somewhere, but I don't see it. At least the map says it is. To the left. It's always interesting to me, by the way. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, but like these houses on the hill, I did see a ruined house, and for me personally, it's always interesting. A little bit of sadness behind it too, right? Because people once did have a dream there. They worked their asses off to afford the house. And then somehow they left, right? You know, they either died of old age, illness, or just had to be removed for some type of reason, you know? Like environmental issues, elderly age, you know, such things like that. And then it just falls down, it collapses, and dreams are gone. Nobody else to inherit it, or just to buy it, or, you know? It is kind of sad, though, if you think about it, right? You know, it's just gone. Falling to despair, and that's it. But then I also think about the joy, the hope, the wishes they had, the dreams those people had, right? Oh boy, look at that though, huh? Now hopefully that big boy is mine right now. According to some papers... Let's hit the brakes here. Oh, look at the mine. According to some papers we got on the old mine, there should be at least one truck the workers used to for hauling some of their equipment. Find it and see if you can get it to work. So I already do see that we do have to get a truck over here that can repair everything. So that includes a trailer and whatnot, right? Well, I wouldn't like to be a warden for that one though. Because this warden had a whole different other job though over those mine workers. No, let's see. That's the Tatarin, yes. Repair. The step 310E. I do like it. Alright, so that's interesting. And over here in the north, we don't really have anything left. As far as I can see on the map, though. It's a shame that I don't see, you know, more of the mines over here. Or can show. That's the cabin where he used to live, though. Oh, another mine shaft. Yeah, World War II prisoners were sent here. And you might think we're Germans only or whatever, but no. Lots of political prisoners too. Like Turbo Peggy knows a couple of people that we are also sent to the gulags though, right? You know, because, well, there were reasons like, you know, like he voted on someone he didn't like, you know, like not a communist leader from Russia, or someone spoke against the Soviet Union, you know how it goes. And then it's goodbye to the gulag. Yep, that easy. Salmo needed to, you know, get all the materials for free, right? You know, for the Soviet Union to try for a while. Like this house, that is the one that I was talking about, this cabin. People are still living here after all. It's a shame that we cannot knock on the door, right? You know, just to ask the history about it. Could have been a warden or a guard or something house, right? You know, into the collapse of the Soviet Union and then he just left. Oh, do you see that? Right there in the forest? Yeah, I do see a blue line. Ah, look at that though. It's probably that one. Kind of wonder which truck we actually might haul over here now. We really want something against Big Mud though, but you know, like which one though? Probably that camouflage one that we have been hauling everything with so far. I forgot the name about it, but it's very, very tanky looking though. Massive wheels. How could I forget the name? We will find out in a bit though, maybe in the next episode. But yeah, with that, just put a trailer on the back, then attach the trailer too, and you got some decent repair points, you know, for on the road. So I believe we do need a couple of hundred repair points. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure right now. Like, oh, look at that. Do you see the green hue over there? Yeah, that's probably either strange lighting or it's radiation again. I don't know. Kind of seems like radiation. There's also a blue square there. Nice. Looks like this road might not be worth the effort. We will stick to using the old one for now. Still thanks for taking the time to check it. You are more than welcome though, huh? The profile balance. Alright, that's for us. Now I'm not... Pathfinder, that's the mission, yeah. And that was this road over here. Alright, good to know. Let's go towards here. Seems like an old riverside though, doesn't it? Yeah, it kind of looks like it. Probably will open up though once, like spring settles in again. After the big snowfall in the winter. I'm not sure, but I think the game got a graphic update though. It just seems a little bit smoother, everything, and like the colors a little bit sharper. I don't know though. The reflections too. Here we are, the watchtower. Show me the way. And here we are. Ooh. Yeah, oh, yeah. I was right though, look at that. Nice. Nice here too, right? All the way down. Here we have a couple ones of them. There's an upgrade over there, the old lumber yard. And we have one mission and fuel carrier trailer. I do want that. The scrap yard. And then we can nicely go down though, huh? Oh, there's a service trailer there. That's good to know. Huh, it seems to be a repair one. Covering all fronts. That's an interesting mission, I believe. So yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. We will probably run out of fuel though before we reach the place. It's good that we have a lot of reserve with us, but I kind of don't want to use it if we can actually reach the place, right, But we will definitely use it though without any issues. And probably in real life this is an vehicle that should never run out of fuel though, right? In other words, like if it runs out of fuel, you might have starting issues, probably. It's kind of strange, but some of these cars do work like that though, huh? Oh, look at that. Oh. That changed opinions quick though, huh? Like, oh, wait a minute though. Free repairs. The local farm might not have been the pinnacle of motorized industry, but it still won't hurt to check if they might still have some salvageable vehicles there. Fix anything you find and tow it to the service station. We will definitely do that. We don't know where the service station is at this point, but that's alright. I kind of like it though, by the way. This part of the map is all about repairs. So far as we can see. Keep on going, little guy. Who's a good Tatarin, huh? Keep on going. Exactly, just like this. Appa, beautiful. Let's do the refuel. Just hold the button though, it's way more realistic than spamming A. Oh, yeah, this will be an issue though. That little bench over there? Russian wood? Probably German engineering, because no matter how hard you ride against it though, right, like the Tatarin will not budge it though. Will not budge it. And probably we will lose everything, Come on, take that turn. Thank you. B for the Tatarin, please. Here we go. The Azov AM4V146. A significant reworked truck engine. Stripped down and reconfigured to fit into a smaller vehicle. Good performance and reliability at the cost of poor fuel efficiency. Show truck list. That is not too bad though, because that jar is one of my favorites. So is the can. I do appreciate it very much though. Nice. So we can have actually a truck. Oh no! Ouch. We can actually have a truck vehicle, engine inside of a scout vehicle. Man, we are mad scientists though, aren't we? Alright, so there we can get wood. It seems. Yeah, definitely can get wood over here. Cargo management. Interesting. So there might be one of those missions around and about. Probably repair a bridge or something, right? I really hope, like, you know, in the future maps that we can also, well, collect some wood, deliver it there, and then we can see that a house is being built or something, like a cabin. How fun will that be? How fun indeed. Just a little extra though, right? You know, it's not life-changing, but it makes it all feel a little bit more realistic though. A little bit more connected, like we are shaping the world too. So far, not in deep mud. Just normal basic mud and roads and everything. I'm having a great time in this terrain. For real though, you cannot even compare it. Oh, yep, there it is. Very interesting. Now, what do you drop here? Metal beams. Well, that is something that I would not have expected, though, you know? That is something I would not have expected. Oh, by the way, we also did get pumpkins. Yes, the pumpkin patch destruction. How shall I say, right? You know, like achievement. Very proud about that, though. I went back and forth over these Russian farms, pumpkins. Didn't like that very much, but as you can see, we do have to haul here. Yeah, the bridge. Okay, that is interesting. The bridge is gone. I had a feeling though, didn't I? Okay, this might be way too steep here. We're doing... Oh! Let's get out of here quick. Whoa, 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 whoa. Chill with that 42 engine damage, please. Wow. Yo, that was a little bit too much, though, for my taking, huh? For my liking. What's written here? Oh, look at that, though. McDonald's this way. All right, let's go. It's kind of funny, by the way, right? You know, if you do see tourists, that they just go to McDonald's, right? You know? It's the same everywhere. Interesting little lake. But it's the same everywhere, though. But it's not so bad, but... Man, it never really fills you up, though, does it now? Oh. Let's go to the left. It's an interesting little town here. So far, I don't see anything that we can pick up. There's a little house over there, so maybe we should inspect that one. Look at all the water. Yeah. Oh, there's something there. Do you see that? Yeah, let's go there. Oh, look at that though. There's something over there. There's yellow. As you can see, a little tiny line. So I definitely want to check that out. And then look at that beautiful surprise. Let it be for the Tatarin. Oh my. How are we even going to do this? Yep, just like this. Whoop. A great location discovered. Not available for current truck. A race suspension kit. Good for venturing down hot roads or off-road terrain. The Foron. My oh my. I believe we were looking for this one though for a very long time, weren't we now? Huh. I'm actually surprised with this find. Because I thought, you know, like it will take a very long while before we can actually use that Foron. We already used the other Foron though, but the other one that I wanted to use didn't have a race suspension. Well, look at that though, huh? Just laying here in the middle of nowhere. Probably totally rusted out and everything, but hey boys, it's ours, right, you know? It's ours. Just a little bit of WD-40 on it, and we are all happy, I suppose. Look at that, another tractor. It's kind of funny, by the way, right? You know, like, I'm playing Farming Simulator right now, so I call trucks tractors and tractors trucks. But a truck without a trailer is actually called a tractor. You know what I mean? So that doesn't help me at all, by the way. One of our men spotted a lone truck just by the lake. If you could fix it up, we could really put it to good use here. So could I. Start tracking. It needs fuel too, huh? The other ones do need fuel too. I should have checked that before, probably. Roof rack. Maybe we are not far enough, or close enough. Look at that. Ah, okay, nothing is growing there. If something was growing there, they were probably trying to make me steal it. The Zik. There we go. At least that one is complete, which is awesome sauce. No, let's go back a little bit further. Over here I do only see forest, so... You know how that goes though, huh? With a thick boy like what we are driving right now. Is that a road? That is a road. Shall we? Yeah, I think we should though. Like that massive antenna over there, I kind of want to explore too. So we might go first back north over here. Yo. Careful now, careful. There we go. Precision driving though, huh? Man, I have to say though, I absolutely did miss this game. Really, really did. That's interesting open here. Maybe we should... Oh, look at that. We can actually go there. Okay, that's great. Maybe we should investigate it a little bit closer. What is that though? Is that a massive quarry or something? Yeah, I absolutely did miss this game. It's just, you know, like human, like man against nature, right? In a certain sense. Just the adventure of the roads in your car and everything. Oh, there is something down there. Oh, beautiful. And I do see another yellow light pop up right there at the distance. I love the scouting feeling too, by the way. That's so good. A revised engine variant with improved overall performance and reliability, but lower fuel efficiency. The Tatra. Alright. I mean, not bad though. Bandit, Zig Z. Alright, awesome. I mean, that's a window. That is a W for real. We could circle around though, now that I think about it. Just go there. And then go here. Go here. And then just like this. Yeah, I think that's better. Don't you guys agree? I think we do. Look at this. We got ourselves a challenge. The landslide mapping discovered. We need to map out the rift created by the landslide. Navigate the rift it created and visit all areas marked on your map. We might actually do that with our Khan. Or Zak, Zik. Tuz. Yeah, the Tuz. Let's hope that we... Yes, we are. We are on the right road. It would be so cool to actually have a navigation system here, right? You know, it could be your phone or something, but at least something that we... Well, we definitely can follow, but something like we can navigate with. And here we are. I think this one was a little bit late though by chopping down that tree. His watchtower might end supporting his little hut sooner or later, right? You know that it's pushed out of the ground. Now, what do we have here? The nearby village had definitely seen better days. We do have some supplies we could spare to help making this place more habitable. That's pretty nice, by the way. Delivered to the first house, second house, and third house, and fourth house. Cement. So that is also another thing that we have to haul around, though. Yeah. I think we are going with that Zig truck that we have. There's a massive bed behind it, and then just adds a service trailer or something. We already have one over here too, which is awesome. We might need more than one after all. Show task. The station on the hill is our main priority in this area, and we'd like to equip a small fuel depot next to it. Retrieve a fuel tank and bring it to the base station. Alright. Fuel carrier. Oh, yeah. That's an issue right now, though, because we cannot really do this. But then again, we can. You know what I mean? We definitely can if we just put the cable. The winch. Alright, come on forward. Don't be shy right now. There we go. Just the way how I like it. Beautiful music kicking in while we are hauling this fuel tank through this beautiful countryside. A challenging road. Deep mud. Unstable ground. Loving every bit of it. Maybe I should change the POV a little bit though. Maybe. Let's actually see the map right over here. We can plan it a little bit better. Yeah, let's go here to the left. How cute, that little mirror right over there though. Can you imagine? You know, like a modern version of this is add that digital mirror. How cool is that, by the way? With a little camera to the side and then you have it on board. Oh, those are so good though. It's so clear and everything. Happy hauling, man. This just feels great, though. Yeah, that is a shame right now. Maybe I should find a mod or something and just have it, you know, being attached right there and the back. It will be so good, by the way. But maybe we should go modless, though. Let me know if there's anything like that and if you would like me to actually use mods like this or like that. Look at this little landslide. Very smart of me to park here, by the way. Is it a massive one? Not really. Didn't take a lot of trees with it, though. Only here at the beginning, as you can see. This feels just so natural, though, right? You know, like a massive armored vehicle repurposed for civilian use and all. And then, you know, hauling some heavy cargo with you. Oh, SnowRunner. Do a little patch, alright, will ya? Make the audience happy. There we are. Look at that, though. This one is already active, huh? How cool is that? Trailer discovered. Gas station discovered. Repair supplies restocked. Wait a minute. Really? That is good news. We can fix everything on our own then. I do appreciate that, by the way. So much you can't imagine. Wow. I mean, we still have to get something over here for the concrete. But, you know, at the same time, I'm like, you know, like, yeah, well, that can wait a little bit longer. Because right now, I just want to focus on scouting around and fixing everything with my little scout boy over here, you know. Hoppa, there we go. There we are. The local farm might not have been the pinnacle of motorized industry. Yeah, we already know that, big boy, right? Yeah, start tracking, we already have it. Great. Oh. Move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. Do the bounce, that's alright. Hoot, hoot. I love that bird. Wherever we go, that bird is around, man. You know, it just feels like home here. Okay, all we want to do right now is stick to the right side. I believe. Nope. A little bit further and then stick to the right side. Oh, is that another camp? I think that's another broken down camp, though. It's not a town, I believe. We have not seen a totally abandoned town. Well, no, we have not. There are a lot of... Oh, yo. Can we? I think we could, though. Let's just do this very slowly. Oh, it's good that the nose is armored. There we are. Very smart to do that, by the way, with a flammable tanker. But it's reinforced with chewing gum, so that's fine. But yeah, oh. Yeah, this might turn into a gigantic fireball though, right? You know? We can pretend to be a mage, but we are not. Hoppa, now let's see. We are farming a lot of uranium around here, right? For their projects. Go. Nope. Apparently we don't go like this. There we go. And once the demand or something has been seized or there's nothing to be found anymore. Or the clubs of the Union. You know, like all these little details probably did hold on to the progress of the region and You know how it goes, right? You know, abandoned mining towns everywhere. This seems to be a normal town, though, to be fair. Huh. Just say hello to that trailer. Is it deemed corruption or illegal, you know, like theft, if I will just siphon some more gasoline out of this? I mean, probably not, though, because we don't sell it. It is just for delivery cost, one might say, and not just that. Nobody wants to get stranded here, right, you know? So I think this is pretty decent. I mean, if I will be living here, right? And I see that the gas line is, let's say, or I would ask, right, it is like 50% for the delivery guy. Say, you know, just refuel that thing, you know what I mean, though? Do you know how important that is, though, to take care of one another in a region like this? Anyway, everywhere, but you know what I mean? The station on the hill is our main priority in this area. And we'd like to equip a small fuel. Yeah, we do know about that. Small fuel station. Right on the top of the hill. It's a little bit strange, though, but understandable. Understandable. It's nicely in the center. There we go. Nice, some weather stations over here. Great job. Now we don't need to worry much about our trucks getting low on fuel. For the time being, feel free to drop by if you need to top off your stock too. Very lovely, by the way. So yeah, by that, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful time. In the next episode, we are going to repair. See you later. Bye-bye.